What about it, YouTube? Okay, it's Women's Month. I used to know what that means. I used to think I knew what that means. I'm not sure anymore, because there's people that say that that's all a social construct, and that traditional gender definitions are insensitive. So anyway, I'm confused enough with what to think about Women's Month, and then they're all fired up in England right now, and this may have been a leap to tie these two things together, Women's Month and what's going on in England, but they're using this event and amplifying it to get sympathy built up during Women's Month, and specifically calling out Women's Month and how we've got to collectively address this thing. And what's going on is there was a woman, unfortunately, God bless her soul, who was found dead in the woods. And so they're looking for who did it. Okay. But there again, they're all upset that this has happened, that she went missing on a walk home and was found dead in the woods, and that we need to address this because of, quote, Women's Month. But juxtaposed to what? Women, men? Because now we're in a problem, because you're saying that women are equal, and that there should be equal outcomes, and the only reason there's not equal outcomes is because someone is rigging the system. And so to unrig the system, we need to recognize that women can fill every role a man can fill, and there should be no discussion about that. Furthermore, men who want to identify as women, women who want to identify as men, any role, any situation, military, whatever, that this has to be recognized. So on one level, this female should have been equal enough to defend herself in an attack. On another level, we don't know if whoever attacked her was a biological male or female. If it was a biological male who identified as a woman, so there you would have a woman-on-woman crime, or a biological woman who identifies as a man, and then you would have maybe a man-on-woman crime. We don't know enough to even pretend that we can use traditional gender role sympathy cards for Women's Month. Does that make sense? How are you going to say we need to have sympathy, we need to go out there and look for this, and we need to stop this at all odds? Stop what? Stop what? We don't even know. But you're assuming, I think, and this is all doublethink, you're assuming that it's a man who did this to a woman, and so you're appealing to who? You're appealing to men to have sympathy, to stop, because otherwise, who are you appealing to? You come as a collective of women during Women's Month, right, with this complaint saying, who are you appealing to? You must be appealing to men. So you must be appealing to men who you must trust aren't in a protection racket of let's go do things to women in the woods and leave them dead, right? So you're appealing to what you think are goodly men to change what? A situation where you're at a disadvantage. Why? How can you be at a disadvantage? You've just got through telling us how you're all equal. Does anybody get how twisted and how much doublethink has to happen on so many different levels for any of this crap to even make any sense? There's an enigma trapped in a conundrum, surrounded in a fallacy somewhere. It's ridiculous. Okay? Are you trying to say, women, that we've got to go out there, strong, goodly men, to help protect you from the ones that aren't going to respect you? Is that what you're saying? And what do we get out of that, if that's what you're asking? I don't know who else you're appealing to, but what do we get out of that? Do we get you to say good things about us, or just to talk crap and schwant-wah and just perpetuate a victimhood status? What are we going to get? And are you going to ask nicely? Are you going to come out and say what you're trying to say to who you're trying to say it to? Who are you throwing it out there to? Who? I don't know. Maybe it's some communist, left-wing, small hat or whatever politician that will make laws that will make what? It against the law to attack someone and leave them dead in the woods? What's going to solve it for you? What's going to make it better? What's going to make it so that you love men? What's going to make it so you recognize men at all times? In fact, let's close with this. Since there's Black History Month, Women's Month, Gay Month, whatever, and all this crap, does that mean, since we juxtapose stuff all the time off of a super straight, cis pronoun dude, right? Especially white, right? So everything's juxtaposed off that. Everything that's bad is that. So you juxtapose your victimhood, whatever it is, off of that. So, with that said, is every day of the year that is not labeled as gay or women or black or whatever, is that super straight white day? I'm going to claim it right now. That every day that's not somehow in a month or whatever of this other stuff, recognition, and, all for it. That's great. Again, I'm all trying to figure out what Women's Month right now. So if there's a woman that can explain to me, beautiful. But I'm happy that I'm going to be celebrating. Every time there's not one of these month things going on, I'm going to be celebrating the super straight cis white month. All right. God bless.